What's up, PML? It's Mally Rojo here with your Rookie Watch for Week 5. Most of you guys know the deal by now, but for those of you that don't, we're going to do a top 5 rookie performances for the week. We're in Week 5 of the 2021 season. We'll go from 5 down to 1, and then after that we'll do some honorable mentions. And there's a lot this week. The rookies are really showing up now. A lot of them are getting more production. We're seeing a lot of the same ones that we've seen before on honorable mentions or in other top 5 videos. But the production is really coming out strong now. It's making it really difficult to choose a top 5 because there's just so many rookies producing good games that it's hard to choose just 5 out of that. So just keep in mind some of these players could be top 5. It's just my opinion, and I'm doing the best I can to keep it fair. Hope you guys are enjoying it. Fun fact, this is my second take. I recorded this once, about 15 minutes worth of video, and found out that the audio was not recording. So here we are again. Let's hop into it. Let's start with number 5. Let's get over here to the schedule. League schedule, make sure we get to week 5. There we are. In our first game, we're going to head over to the 49er game. 49ers played the Seahawks. Big win for the 49ers there. Seahawks, one of the better coaches, undefeated last year. Hasn't had much competition in his division, no offense guys, but San Francisco, he's bringing it, undefeated, and he beat the Seahawks pretty good, 36-21. And he produced a top 5 performance out of one of his rookies. So let's go check that out. Over here on defense, we're going to head to the strong safety, Jacoby Stevens. He had 5 total tackles. He had 2 interceptions, took him for 12 yards. And then he also had 1 forced fumble as well. So that's big. He's getting the ball for his offense 3 times. 3 times making him turn over the ball, getting it back to the offense, and that showed in the score. Jacoby Stevens looking good. 49ers defense looking good. He's got another rookie on that team also looking good. He didn't make our top 5 this week, but we will hear him later in the honorable mention, so we'll hold off on that one. But let's hop into our number 4, where we're going to head to the Lions-Steelers game. This is the game where the Lions played the Steelers out of the league. As you can see, quite a blowout here. Big game for Detroit. They've been looking good past couple weeks. Good game from Matt Stafford. It seems like when the Lions can keep the turnovers down, they play really well. And we're going to hop in to the rushing, where we have Tony Jones Jr. He had 19 carries for 109 yards. Took it for a touchdown. Broke 4 tackles, and then over in the receiving, he got it done there too with 3 catches for 50 yards. So big game for Tony Jones Jr. And yeah, he ran the Steelers straight out of this league. Another one bites the dust, having trouble keeping a Steelers owner, but good game for Detroit there. And let's head over to our number 3, which this one pains me to review, because it was a game where Minnesota Vikings played my team, the Atlanta Falcons, and as you can see, I played a horrible game. As the natural mentioned, I had more interceptions than completions, which is just sad. But Minnesota played a good game. They got me out of my element. It was a close game through the first 2 quarters, but then after that, it was just all downhill. He had me just trying to throw big plays every time, trying to make something happen, and it wasn't working, and it led to a lot of turnovers. So good game plan by him there, and he produced a top 5 on his defense. We're used to seeing the middle linebacker Dorian Etheridge from his team on the top 5, but this week it's the other middle linebacker rookie, Leonard Warner. He had 6 total tackles. He had a tackle for loss. He had 1 sack. He had 1 interception, took it for 6 yards, and then he also had a forced fumble. So that's big. He got the ball for his team, the forced fumble and the interception twice, and then he was all over the place, man. He was getting in the backfield, sacking the quarterback, getting in the backfield, taking down the quarterback, making interceptions, making tackles, forcing fumbles. Big game from him. Good game from the Vikings. And he makes our number 3 this week. So let's head to our number 2. What am I looking for? Green Bay versus the Chicago Bears. We're going to head over here to the quarterback section. And initially I thought this game was played, but then I realized that it was actually, it was simmed. Neither of these users played the game. Jarrett Guarantano had a big game. He had 299 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a 75% completion rating. But like I said, I kind of noticed after I put him on my list that it actually wasn't played. So it's kind of with a grain of salt. Wasn't users playing it, but he did have a good game. Really efficient, nearly 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then I think he had like a small amount of rushing yards. And then he had 75% on the completion rating. So that's what you want to see from your quarterback. Efficiency, not making any turnovers, getting a lot of yards, getting touchdowns. That's good to see from your quarterback. So he made number 2 with a grain of salt for the sim there. Probably would have changed that if I noticed it before I started filming the video, but I'm not going to change it now. So he's going to stay number 2, and we'll hop into our number 1, where we are going to head back to the Detroit game. Where was that out? The Lions and the Steelers. We talked about the production from the running back, but 33-0, there's some shutdown defense going there. So let's head over to the defense and see our number 1 for the week, which is the strong safety rookie from Detroit, Richard LeConte III. He had 7 total tackles. He had 3 interceptions, and he took them for negative yards, but that's all right. Still 3 turnovers there, and then another fumble recovery, so that's 4 turnovers. He's putting the ball in his offense's hand 4 times, 3 big interceptions, and that shows in the score, 33-0, man. It's a blowout. A lot of the turnovers mostly going right there to Richard LeConte. He got the ball for him 4 times on top of 7 tackles, so he makes our list at number 1 this week. Big game from the Lions. Good job there. He's got some rookies to look out for, so we'll have our eyes on Lions. Looks like he's building the team for the future, and he's playing better, so it's there. Let's head back over here. As usual, I'm going to jump into the honorable mentions now, but I'm not going to go through each one. I haven't written them down already, so we'll just kind of run through those quickly so they can get some recognition. There was a lot of them this week. A lot of these I wanted to put on my top 5, but there was just so many good players this week, it was hard to place them. But let's go through them. Trayvon Grimes, the wide receiver from New England, had only 3 catches, but he took it for 106 yards. No touchdowns, but big plays from him there. Jerry Jeudy, the wide receiver from Miami, had 7 catches for 114 yards. Again, no touchdowns there, but that's a big game, man. 7 catches, 114 yards. He's looking to be the go-to guy on that offense. I don't want to spoiler alert week 6 too much, but I saw a game where he caught a game-winning touchdown. So he's looking to be the guy there, and he's been on our list multiple times in the top 5 and honorable mentions. And once again, he makes honorable mentions there with 7 for 114. Rondell Moore, the wide receiver from Chicago, had 5 for 57 and 2 touchdowns. So big game for him. Really good job by Chicago there. That was a game that was, we got to take this one with a grain of salt too. That was the game that we said was played by the CPUs. But obviously Rondell Moore has the ability there. So hopefully we see Chicago's coach implement that as well. I know we've seen Rondell Moore on the honorable mentions before, and maybe even top 5. I can't quite remember, but I know we've seen him. I know we've mentioned his name on these episodes. So he's definitely using him. Another one from Detroit. We mentioned the big game where he ran Pittsburgh out of the league. Not only did Tony Jones Jr. have a big game, but he had another rookie running back, Ricky Slade, who had 3 catches for 55 yards and a touchdown. Only 4 carries, but he took him for 24 yards. Most of his production there coming from the receiving, but 55 yards and a touchdown. So good game by Ricky Slade there. That's his first appearance, but Detroit had a big game there, and looks like he's getting 2 rookies involved in the running game there. We had Davis Mills from the Washington Redskins have a really nice game. 246 passing yards for 1 touchdown, no interceptions, 83% completion rating. Really good game by him, very efficient, 83%. He won that game. Good, really good. That's really efficient. 246 yards, 83% completion rating. That's what you wanted to see. Only 1 touchdown. That's probably what kept him out of the top 5, but still a really good game for him there. And that's what you want, is the efficiency and no turnovers. And he did that. Seattle had their wide receiver Eli Stove, only with 2 catches, but he took him for 80 yards and a touchdown. That other cornerback we mentioned from the 49ers to be in the honorable mentions is Anthony Litton. He had 5 total tackles, 1 sack, 1 interception, and 1 fumble recovery. So big game from him. He's been having Anthony Litton. We've been seeing him on the list quite a bit. He's had an interception every game. A few of them he's taken for pick 6. One of them was for like 85 yards. Had another interception this week. No touchdowns this week, but still doing big things for that team. Helped to win against a tough opponent there. Gervon Hall, the safety from the Browns, had 10 total tackles and a deflection. Kendrick Rogers, the wide receiver from Dallas, had 6 receptions for 62 yards and a touchdown. And I want to say that might be his first appearance, but big game from him, and possibly we'll see more. Well, that's it for the honorable mentions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I plan on next week, as soon as Vance getting week 6 in, doing week 7, and then week 8 I'm thinking about doing something special. Instead of just doing a weekly recap, I'm thinking about week 8, since that's kind of like the halfway point. Thinking about seeing how all the total stats are looking for the rookies, see if we can get a top 5 in total stats for the offense and defensive players of the rookies, see who's in the running for Rookie of the Year thus far, get our predictions there, see who's leading the pack. So I hope you guys will enjoy that, and we'll have that coming up soon. Until then, we'll see you guys next week, week 6. Have a good night. Peace.